Photo of the victim flashed before my eyes. I'd seen that picture at the Assembly HQ investigating the bizarre serial murders. Nobody wanted to die like that. If she requested a murderer from Joker, then I'm shit. But that meant this luckless girl would have been accused of either being an accessory to the prime suspect for the murders or else in instigating them. I was in such a hurry to capture the true Joker that I had only thought of my own benefit and unconsciously hoped for that. So naturally, she'd held me in contempt. This wasn't how a policewoman representing the juvenile division which handled the well-being of young people should have conducted herself. Still, I was a little relieved. Judging by how she reacted so far, this girl was innocent. My expressly accusatory interrogation had pissed her off. You're absolutely right. Sorry for giving you the third degree. Really ought to confirm it myself after all. I looked into her without permission from the investigation HQ, so I had to make up for offending her when she was also a victim of a crime. I might have been working on my own, but if I broke faith with the system, I'd end up just another dirty cop. That wasn't an option for me. Besides which, the name of the game was to unmask, stop, and arrest Joker. I steeled myself, approached the employee at the entrance, showed my badge, and spoke. This club has a VIP floor further in, right? Are there any entrances beside that door over there? The man tried to avoid meeting my eyes. He knew I was going to be trouble. Nah. We recently switched owners and the back's mid-renovation. Nobody's using it right now, so it's empty. How convenient. I'd like you to rent it to me till morning. Could you give me the key? Huh? No way. I'm a part-timer. I don't know nothing about that kind of shit. This club's reported that it's a Type 3 business, right? I wonder what time it is now. Just when did the alcohol start flowing freely? I'm sure you know the food and entertainment laws. If you don't, perhaps I could take you on a tour of the police station? I think at worst you get a month of casual leave. New owner won't get mad, right? Casual leave, in other words, he'd be arrested as an accomplice and the business would get suspended. By law, businesses where customers stand and dance must report applying for a license to serve food and drink. But once they get it, they can't do business past midnight. Stupidly honest clubs that close that early aren't popular. If they want to do business till dawn, they need to apply as a restaurant that serves liquor late at night. But if they do that, they can't let the customers dance anymore. So-called small and medium-sized clubs conduct legally gray business practices just by looking the other way. What is the point of that shit? I know it's really common in Japan to have like these gray markets and shit. It just seems so fucking unnecessary. Like a lot of fucking effort to go through. I understand. But what the hell are you gonna do? Please don't get me in trouble. Thanks. I'm just gonna dance till dawn, if I survive, that is. He gave me 2 keys and I handed the man my business card, which had my cell number on it. It's the card I'd give to kids I was providing guidance to. I'd tell them to call me if they had any problems. Naturally, to prevent misuse, it didn't mention that I was a policewoman. Then I politely asked for his cooperation, namely to call me if anyone else tried to enter the VIP floor. I added that if morning comes and nobody leaves, he should also call Sergeant Soho of the Criminal Investigations Division. I emphasized that he not contact any other policemen. I was sure Detective Suyo would be shocked if he got a call just like I requested. After all, we'd never really talked before anyway. Even if he only knew me by name, I knew him well. The hell are you trying to pull? All of the victims up till now have been targeted in places where they were alone. If I'm gonna head into the back, staying by myself is ideal. There's no exit or entrance beside this one, so if anyone but me leaves through here, that means they're Joker. That card from before, it's the real deal? Hurry up and go home. Not all adults are as understanding as I am, so keep your carousing to a minimum. No matter what happens, you mustn't come peek inside. That guy you mentioned earlier, Detective Suyu. He'll probably come see you before long. He's heading the investigation on 501, Joker. When he arrives, explain to him what I asked you tonight and tell him that you don't know anything beyond that. He doesn't think you requested the hit from number 501 either. Upon telling none of that, I passed through the door to the VIP floor. Just in case, I locked the door from the inside. If I were number 501, there's no way I'd ignore a locked room mystery of this caliber. The hallway connected to the secret dance floor changed into a red Chinese-style design. Word on the street was that nobody got in without the say-so of a regular. It looked like the rumors that the Taiwanese mafia brought out this club were somehow true. Before, when I came to do guidance for the students of Kasugahama High, Club Zodiac was a cheap place arranged with constellations, as the name implies. While walking through a vulgar red corridor, the sort only the Nove Reach could like, I pulled out my cell and called a familiar number. After the fifth ring, someone picked up the line. Just like before, the rumor was true. Remember how I asked you to kill Shiori Mashihiro? He's on the VIP floor at Club Zodiac in Yumazaki Ward. That's all I said before I hung up the phone. There was no going back anymore. By the end of the night, I'd know if the rumors were true or not. If I failed, I'd just add another corpse to the pile. Soyu household. Garage. Oh shit, it's the cast of Innocent Sin. At that moment, I remembered everything. I remembered that I was from the other side and everything that had happened there. Mayani, Mayuzumi-san, Kichi, Lisa, and June. We swore we'd never forget each other and then we were torn apart. My friends watched Mayani and me. Mayani, the other Mayani, was smiling right before my eyes. Are you okay? You're not hurt? Sorry about that, I'm such a klutz. Wait, have we met somewhere before? We did, yes, we did. There's no way I could have forgotten, even if you told me to. Absolutely. Back when we were kids, I was always chasing after you. That's right. Please never stop smiling like that. June and I promised we'd protect your smile. But I screwed up. The first time was 10 years ago. The second was in his world. And the third time? Damn it. I got the hell out of there. I had no idea what I should do. That's why I shut myself away with the body of the other me and decided to sleep. If I saw nothing and heard nothing and felt nothing, then maybe, just maybe, the peaceful days everyone had gained would continue uninterrupted. But there was no way he would let that slide. You may flee your sins and hide yourself if you like, but you do know what will become of this world, don't you? You marionette strung on the threads of fate. No one can escape the jaws of despair. I'm waiting. In my dream, he left a brand on my right hand, the mark of a sinner possessed by darkness. It dawned on me what was about to happen. People could neither run nor hide from themselves. There was one thing I had to do. If you want my life, I'll give it to you. If you tell me to fall in the darkness, I'll do it. But I won't let anyone have their way with Mayani, or this world where my friends live. I'm the only one he can do as he pleases with, but I won't go down easy. In exchange for everything I am, I'll burn that scornless, faceless mask and everything else of his to ashes. It's the one and only thing I can do to atone. Suddenly the cell phone rang. It wasn't my brother. His calls were already blocked without me having to do anything. Looks like this me got along with his brother about as well as I did with mine. The call ID said it was Ana Yoshizaka. I knew that me on this side hung out with Yoshizaka, but I'm not really him. I can't respond to her like he would. It rang 10, 20, 30 times before I gave up and took the call. If nothing else, as long as I was temporarily borrowing this body, I figured it'd be better to tell Yoshizaka I can't stay in touch. Tatsuya, you're not hurt, are you? No. Ooh, I thought something happened. I knew that Yoshizaka had been waiting all night for me on this side to show up at Club Zodiac, but she didn't blame me for ditching her or ignoring the phone. She just expressed her relief. The only person she'd talk like this to is the other me. On the other side, I had also had close relationships, just like he and Yoshizaka have here. My chest hurt. Tatsuya, you said your brother was a cop, right? Earlier, this weird cop chick came and holed herself up in the VIP floor. Seemed like she called Joker and told him to kill her. She asked Nakamura-san to give you your brother a ring in the morning if she didn't come out. You don't want to see your brother, right? I'm going to go check up on her in a bit, but it'd be better if you didn't come tonight. That's all. The other me had probably never broken a promise. Yoshizaka still believed I would come, so she went out of her way to call so I wouldn't run afoul of my brother on this side. But the bigger shock was hearing her say Joker's name. On the other side, Mayani and the rest of us had fought against Yoshizaka, who'd become one of Joker's minions. Don't, Yoshizaka. Don't you dare go in. I'll go. Get out of there right now. Don't get anywhere near Joker. Yoshizaka? Okay, that's what you say, I'll do it, Tatsuya. The me on this side called Yoshizaka by her first name. I didn't have time to correct myself, though. Joker might have already been close by. I was concerned about the woman dropping by dropping my brother's name too. On the other side, my best friend June Crusoe put on the Joker's mask after he screwed with his memories. But June kept his final promise. He should have lost his memories of the other side and now be living peacefully on this side as June Kashihara. Someone who wasn't June had become this side's Joker and is committing serial murders as his pawn, marking the end and a new beginning. I vividly recalled the last line of the Oracle of Maya, which has served as the trigger to the destruction of the other side. The same thing that happened on the other side was happening here. The distortion that he had set over 10 years ago had extended over 2 worlds. He had known from the start what choice we'd make after losing Mayani, and how things would turn out afterwards. Gritting my teeth, I grabbed an extra helmet for Yoshizaka just in case and sped off into the city night on my motorcycle. Fine then, I'll go ahead and tear the slimy distortion he wove into casuality to pieces. Then finally, I'll rip his throat out. Still a Club Zodiac. How long is this thing? Tatsuya. When I reached the club, Yoshizaka spotted me and came running with a slight limp, the reminder of a hidden run. Why are you still here, Yoshizaka? Sorry, but... When Yoshizaka finished explaining what was going on, the club employee clawed out to me, nervous. He was acquainted with the other me, Nakamura, if I remembered right. Yo, Tatsuya, heard from Ana-chan, but Detective Soyo's your big bro, right? I ain't calling the pigs from the club. Do you know that lady cop too? Damn it, this ain't funny. Normally the new owner's got the man's number. Nakamura-san, lend me the key to the back. I know you've got a spare. I'll talk to her. Talk? Hell no. She said to ring it if anyone tried going in after her. She's a cop, dude. A cop. You don't have to call. I spotted and picked up a business card that I guess the lady detective had left on the counter. Shiori Miyashiro. I went ahead and memorized her name and phone number. Getting sleepy. I summoned my persona and now I remember her phone number. The next instant, the card burned up in my hand and turned to ashes. Was that some magic trick? Nakamura yelped in surprise. Even Yoshizaka, whose expression hardly ever changed, widened her eyes. Still, they wouldn't have been able to see the arm of my persona Apollo. The key. When I held out my hand, Nakamura got the key from the case and handed it over, trembling with fear. The only spare I got right now is the key for that door. You know there's another door deeper in, right? I forgot the key for that one in the staff room. While I nodded, I grabbed the wooden sword that was crammed into the umbrella stand behind the counter. Given what kind of club this was, the rare brawl would break out between customers. The other me knew Nakamura had prepared it for self-defense, meaning I knew too. Hey, you couldn't be Joker, right? You couldn't be, right? When I looked up at him, Nakamura shrank away. Don't go spreading weird rumors. If it's the same as the other side, that'll cause problems. Other side? The hell are you talking about? You're freaking me out, man. I paid Nakamura no more mind, but when I tried to head for the VIP floor, Yoshizaka blocked my way. You've been acting weird lately. Are you really, Tatsuya? Women really are sharp. She was half right and half wrong, but then it was natural for her to have suspicions. The other me would have dealt with them better. He'd even joked around with her before, tried to get Yoshizaka to laugh with some lame impression. Not like me. It was extremely unlikely I'd get Yoshizaka to move until she got an acceptable answer. Nothing for it, I decided to tell her the truth. I'm me. Do I look like anyone else to you? On the other side, I had a scar on my back, carved there by Pseudo 10 years ago. The other me wouldn't have had it, or shouldn't. I was borrowing the body of that me. She wouldn't know about any scar on my back as long as I didn't strip. This side branched off by erasing the fact that me, Mayani, Ikichi, and Lisa and June met 10 years ago. Me and Mayani never got attacked by Pseudo either. But lately, ever since I started to take control of it, scars have started appearing on this body too. It's an omen that the other side is in the process of encroaching on this side. Without replying, Yoshizaka bored her eyes into mine. She was tall for a woman, but I still had a head on her. She couldn't tell that I was a different Tatsuya on the inside, could she? Weren't you going to do as I said? Go home already, Yoshizaka, before things get any worse. Yoshizaka averted her eyes. Is someone really going to kill her? I said some awful shit to her. I didn't know what she said to her, but Yoshizaka didn't need to worry about this. That other woman should have taken responsibility. She was the one who caused this mess. Don't worry, Yoshizaka. I won't let her get killed. That's why I came here. Hey, what do you intend to do, Tatsuya? Atone for my sins. Don't get involved with me for a while. With that said, I slipped past Yoshizaka. Anytime I got involved with someone else, it brought me pain, without fail. I didn't want to let anyone else feel like this ever again. With this, I'd bring all this to an end. Oh shit, I get to play? We are literally, what is that, 25 minutes? 25 minutes later, we get to play. Okay, okay. I'm not gonna say anything else, but don't bust up the club, please. Oh, and that warden sword's mine, so take care of it. Alright, let's go back here. On the other side, the hallway had a cheap-looking upholstery spangled with constellations to match Club Zodiac's name. Here, it had been changed to Chinese-style red upholstery. Nakamura had said the proprietor had changed. I wonder if they were trying to set up a Chinese restaurant in the interior. Then, a few winged monsters I'd never seen before dropped down from the hallway ceiling. They were not altogether hornets, nor crabs, nor ants, nor vampire bats, but creatures unpleasantly, horrifically eerie. If I wasn't awakened to my persona, just looking up at them might have driven me mad and sent me screaming from the room. That's how big of a punch they packed. They snapped back their wings with a whip-like crack, and a malicious buzz started emanating from their abdomens, which were swollen like a hornet's. They had mouths on what looked to be their heads, but it seemed like their voices came from below. Couldn't quite pronounce it correctly myself, but I heard noises like Biyaki, or Biyake, and Lala Hastur. At any rate, they were probably his bright idea. This meant that there would be demons past this point. You're telling me to do a warm-up, huh? Sorry, but I'm not going to waste my time swatting flies. Get out of here, now. Hang on just a second. When I grumbled that to him, who was watching from somewhere, they made that grattling la-la noise from their abdomen simultaneously, then flew with incredible vigor through the narrow hallway at me. Oh. On top of that, my camera has frozen. Great. Getting into a fight by myself, my HP at least, and my SP are pretty fucking high. That's good to see. Okay, cool. My goodness. Alright. Level 61, nice. Just a second. Alright. When they died, the monsters foamed violently like dry ice, then they vanished, leaving behind a nose-twisting stench. I couldn't afford to drag my feet here. I needed the other key that Nakamura forgot in the staff room in order to enter the VIP further in. It'd be easy to bust down a single door, but there was a policewoman inside. If I made a show of busting up the cloud, I'd get Nakamura in trouble, and the other me would get accused of a crime he wouldn't remember committing. I wanted to do this as carefully as possible. I ran in, heading for the staff room. Alright. Cyber? No. I have not played any Dragon Quest games. Any that you can recommend? Actually, no, wrong. I have played one Dragon Quest game, but it was a spin-off. None of the official ones. None of like the mainline games. Where the fuck does this game want me to go? I'm a little confused. I have literally heard nothing but good things about Dungeon Quest builders, and I've thought about picking them up. And I've also heard good things about Dungeon Quest 11. Dragon Quest. Sorry. Neat. I don't know when I'd be able to play those Cyber because I don't have a great computer slash a current console. But I feel like I saw something about that and it looks amazing. I love when games do that. Honestly, I need a fucking chewing soul. Alright. Nice, Cyber. Nice, nice, nice. I love Akira Toriyama's art style, but I literally just have not really gotten into the Dragon Quest series, aside from that one spin-off game I mentioned. And I've always wanted to get into Blue Dragon, which is not a Dragon Quest game, but you know it's just like it's basically a Dragon Quest game. Do I just keep going up? I don't really know any other directions to go, so we're just gonna keep going up, I guess. Oh, hey, VIP floor. Do I not have the key? Am I supposed to just... Sure enough, the VIP floor door is locked. I can hear faint music from in. That lady detective Shiori Miyashiro is probably inside. I don't know if she's still alive or not, though. Try knocking, but I don't get a response. Looks like I'd best hurry up and get that key after all. Where the fuck is the key? Alright. Fuck my luck. Let's just go back downstairs. Go forward. And rattle drinks. Nice. Huh. Cool. This too was unquestionably a secret room, but Shiori Miyashiro was nowhere inside. According to Yoshizaka, it seems she requested her own death so she could arrest Joe. Normally, a single detective wouldn't go that far. It also concerned me that she forbade contact with any police officer besides my brother. There must have been something else going on. Could it have been that there's some connection between the police and Joker? I spotted the key on top of the table, but when I tried to approach, the corners of the room twisted mushily with a nauseating stench, and from the twisted space, several filthy tentacles stretched out. I jumped back and just barely evaded them as the tentacles flung a thick mucus across the entire room. These games really do need to be remade. Smoke rose violently from the walls. This thing's limbs were melting them. Something was trying to rip through dimensions using the tentacle stretch to the walls as a foothold and force its way into this side. That is disturbing. The walls crawled, and so did my flesh. I had never seen this thing until now either. Well, of course you haven't. It's fucking brand new and it's weird. Like, what the fuck? Of course you haven't seen it. It seemed the demons on this side were more grotesque and in worse taste than the ones I'd seen on the other side. La Shub-Niggurath! Its body was at once like a festering cloud, an octopus in a twisted tree, and its many mucus-discharging mouths set my teeth on edge. Its black feet were split like goat hooves. If a normal person had seen this monster, they'd probably have gone insane. Well, it literally, like, yelled out Lovecraftian bullshit. When you awaken to your persona ability to the other you, who possesses power like gods and demons, you become able to summon a persona. If you call forth a god who holds sway over fire, like my Apollo, you can even manipulate flames at will. In the depths of human heart shared with all people, there is a domain where mythological archetypes dwell, and they grant an influence over an individual's personality development. Maya Nee said that the anecdotes of mythology divinities the world over probably exist because of that. Cyber Bunny, thank you. I will hydrate. I haven't hydrated in forever. Yeah. I've been reading for so long. I literally have been reading for almost like 40 minutes now. Like, Jesus. Gods and demons exist not in heaven and hell, but in the hearts of humanity. Personas even have an influence on physical and mental abilities. My ability to wield a sword like a master and my resistance to terror are both thanks to my persona. Gods and demons are not the only archetypes sleeping in the human heart. If the collective unconsciousness is where all human psyches are born and return to, that means I too exist somewhere in the world of the subconscious as a master of arms. But neither you nor I belong on this side. Go home. If I didn't settle things fast, I'd suffocate on this thing's stench and the reek of the burning walls. I might have been a persona user, but if I couldn't breathe, I'd die. Well, let's fucking fight. Fuck. Can we see that again? 303. Cool. Alright, gigantic fist is what we're doing the entire way. And we're done. Yeah, right, Lena? Hey, Lena, send me that list since you're here. Send me that list because, I mean, we're not going to be streaming for much longer, and I'm going to be doing my very little bit of shopping in about 30 minutes to an hour. It's going to be a bit, but I still want to have that list. The second I managed to kick that pseudo goat out of this world, I grabbed the VIP floor key and leapt out of that stinking room. When Nakamura saw the state inside, he'd scream. I tried my best to be careful, though. I hoped he wouldn't blame the other me afterwards. Oh, I immediately get back into gameplay. Nice. Surprise of the fucking century. Not familiar with the joke, Lena, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Alright, so it's on this floor, right? No, it's actually, we go all the way forward. It was the Wumbo episode. God. You know, I feel like all the references that people make to SpongeBob are in those like first like couple seasons, and I just need to rewatch the first couple seasons because I don't remember shit. I think I've told you, in the past I've had trouble finding good torrents for SpongeBob. Half expected him to do a monologue about him entering the VIP floor key. This dream again? I was so sick of it. It was all because lately I'd been doing research on number 501 right after getting off work. I hadn't slept well at all. When I leaned my back on the wall next to the VIP floor entrance, I started lucid dreaming while upright. A golden butterfly danced in a round room that was encircled by pillars. Its flight pattern was even frailer than usual, but I knew what was about to happen. I mean, the butterfly was just going to turn into a masked person and ask me my name like always. My kid brother had bugged me into playing this weird game, and ever since I've had this dream over and over again. Sure enough, the butterfly vanished and the masked person took its place. There was something unusual, though. This androgynous voice was harder to hear, and their body had gone dim and see-through. Now that I thought about it, the space between the pillars was redder and hazier than usual, too. It doesn't matter how many times you ask, I won't tell you. Besides, no one ever believed me when I told the truth anyway. I had seen him, the man who dismembered my little brother. What I wanted to know was the butterfly person's name. You want to know mine? Tell me yours first. No, now that I was an adult, it was different. What I wanted to know was whether the rumor was true or not. The rumor that Joker is Tatsuya Sudo, the monstrous serial killer from 10 years ago who was never caught. Becoming a policewoman let me figure out that the culprit was Tatsuya Sudo, son of Tatsuya Sudo, the incumbent Minister of Foreign Affairs. I had no proof, though. In which case, I'd just have to prove that the culprit was from back then and Joker were one and the same, just as the rumor said, and then figure out where he was. It had taken me 10 years to get to this point. And it had taken me 10 years to read this monologue. My dream and my memories had gotten it all mixed up. Just then I heard the door unlock and the knob turn. I drew my P23 I drew my P230 JP from my backside holster, pulled back the hammer, and disengaged the manual safety. Why is this fucking necessary? The trigger would be lighter this way if I just released the safety and shot using double action. Ever since the investigation bureau for number 501 was formed, the order for all officers to be armed had been officially given to the juvenile division, a cooperating jurisdiction. Why would you need guns in the juvenile division? The entrance opened quietly and a tall shadow entered the dim dance floor, backdropped by lighting. He carried a cylindrical weapon turned over in his hand. It looked like a sword, which matched the weapon wounds of number 501's victims according to the forensic investigations. This is the police. Throw down your weapon. My voice sounded hoarse as I yelled that, aiming at the shadow's head from the side. Ugh, I could have used a hot green tea, but I had this gun in my hand, and I couldn't drink tea and have a gun in my hand at the same time. How would I do so? Sherry Mashiro, right? I have my gun aimed at your head. Throw down your weapon. The shadow barely moved, as if he were a statue, but, and I didn't know if he was prepared for this, he immediately released his lethal weapon. I kicked it away from where it fell on the floor, then shouted at him again with my gun still trained on him. How did you kick it away from the floor, unless he's right fucking in front of you? You're under arrest for being in violation of the Swords and Firearms Control Law. Hands behind your head and drop to your knees. He placed his hands on the back of his head and obediently dropped to his knees. Couldn't let my guard down, though. His victims weren't just cut down, they were somewhere it seemed like they were eaten alive. Who knew what kind of deadly weapon he had hidden on him? If he showed even the slightest sign of resisting, I intended to gun him down without hesitation. Japanese police officers can't do shooting practice beyond 36 bullets worth a year, so it's difficult for us to hit a moving target. It's very fucking weird. I mean, it's not that weird. It's probably better this way by a lot, but it's still kind of fucking weird. The American sensibility that our cops are just constantly have guns and itching to shoot a person. Not to mention there was no way you could stop homicidal maniacs and junkies with a single 32 caliber bullet. Overseas, there's a controversy over whether even a 9mm caliber bullet would have enough force. Of course, there's probably a problem with using excessive force. Truth is, though, I wanted number 501 dead. He was clearly the culprit. Clearly. I can't see him in this dark-ass room, but clearly he's the culprit. Even if I secured him, he would receive a non-indictment due to being of unsound mind, get institutionalized, and if I was unlucky, be back on the streets before a few months had passed. He'd leave free as a bird without anyone asking what his crime was. In this country, there's no judicial institution in place to handle mentally impaired people who've committed atrocious crimes. Involuntary institutionalization ultimately only targets the mental disability. Hey, yeah, they can't handle them as criminals. That's so true. Consequently, once it's been judged that there's no fear of them harming themselves or others, they must be discharged immediately, even if the very doctor who examined them felt there was risk of a recidivism. There have been several movements trying to induce measures preserving law and order with strong right. What the fuck? Again, why are we having this conversation? Why are you having this thought process? You have a gun in your hand and you're like, there have been several movements trying to introduce measures preserving law and order with stronger fighting force. However, they've been stymied many times over because of strong protests from the opposing faction that touts protection of human rights. Jesus Christ, okay. So then what about the human rights of the victims? The rights of the victims who one day had their uneventful but happy lives ripped from them all of a sudden and those left behind? The perpetrator wasn't in a normal state of mind. They're incapable of taking responsibility. Are you telling me to fucking accept that? My loved one's life and future were unreasonably stolen, and the man responsible gets protected in the name of human rights. This is the status quo for this country's administration of justice. Are you crying? It's natural for someone to tear up when they're tense. He could see the corners of my eyes in this dim light. Whatever, it wasn't his damn business. Also, that's a wooden sword. The shadow jutted his chin at the weapon on the floor. I glanced at it without turning my head and confirmed it was true. The hallway light streaming in from the door illuminated a wooden sword. I couldn't charge him with a violation of the Swords and Firearms Control Act law. Can I get up now? No. You may still have committed unlawful assembly with deadly weapons. What's your name? Tatsuya. Soyo. Tatsuya Soyo? turned up the hall lights with the remote in my other hand, then looked at the shadow's face. While there was intensity in it, this was definitely a young man. I guess he was about 17, 18 years old. He looked like Sergeant Sawyer. Was he former Detective Sawyer's child? What was he doing here? Was he Joker? I was confused. Do you have any ID? I think there's a driver's license in my wallet. I ride a motorbike to school and I doubt it's unregistered. He talked about himself like he was someone else. What a weird kid. Where's your wallet? My back pants pocket. Stand up slowly, place your hands on the wall, and spread your legs. Once he obeyed my directions, I completed a quick pat down. He didn't possess any other weapons. Inside his wallet, there was a normal motorbike license. The so-called mid-license. So-called. There's his picture and name. This was Tatsuya Sumaru, alright. Okay, turn this way. Keep your hands where I can see them. He obeyed me without question. At least his face and photo matched up at a glance. But there was something different about the boy in the photo. He gave a challenging smirk, like he'd fight anyone who looked at him funny. It was his eyes. What was with this kid's eyes? It was like they'd suck me in. What child looked like that? There was a detached quality to his gaze, like he'd resigned himself to or accepted something. How did you know my name? Were you the one who picked up the other end of the line? Or did you hear it from your father? The address on his photo ID definitely matched what I had pinned down for former Detective Sawyer. No doubt about it, this kid was his son and Sergeant Sawyer's little brother. My dad? No, I saw your business card downstairs. He was probably surprised that I knew his father, given his puzzled expression. I see. Did the people from the club ask you to chase me out, or did you come to kill me? You wouldn't happen to be Joker, would you? God, this is stupid. I fucking hate cop stories. Detective bullshit, I can't. It's so annoying. No, the club's got nothing to do with it. I came to warn you because Yoshizaka asked me to. If you stay here, Joker really will kill you. Do you mean the advance notice? If you know about that, then hurry up and go home. You don't understand at all. Your gun won't do a thing. The next moment, I found myself staring blankly at the center of his chest. It took me several seconds to comprehend that he had seized my handgun along with my right hand and pulled me in close. I was gonna kiss him. His movements were so hyper-quick, my eyes played tricks on me, making it look like time skipped. He tightly gripped the small automatic handgun in his large, decidedly unboyish left hand. Decidedly unboyish. What the fuck? The slide was retreating a little bit too. Now even if I pulled the trigger reflexively, it wouldn't shoot. Where in the world did he learn this? I felt the forceful beat of his heart on my cheek through his bright red bike leathers. When I looked up, I saw the handle of a fruit knife or something similar thrust all the way to the hilt in the wall next to his face. It hadn't been there a second ago. If my face hadn't been buried in his chest just now, that thing might have struck me dead on the back of my head. When he removed his right hand, which held my head, he pulled out the knife next to his head. Right hand, head, glowering in the spot further inside the club. My god, I hate this dialogue. The blade's about 10 centimeters long, but all of it had sunk into the wall. The physical strength of the person who threw it was impressive enough, but this kid who casually pulled it out was amazing too. How long have you been there? From the start, dumbass. At Tatsuya-kun's question, the voice of another man behind me responded. It sounded like he was a good distance away. It's been a long time since I had booze. Here I was just thinking over a drink, what? Here I was just thinking over a drink or five about how to axe that broad when you get right in the fucking way. The voice's owner, number 501. It seemed that until the boy came, I'd been alone with him in the dark. When I arrived, I'd verified that there wasn't anyone in the dance hall. When did he get here? A chill ran up my spine. When I twisted my body around as if to shake off my fear, Tatsuya-kun removed the hand that had been restraining me. Without a moment's delay, I alternated my gun at both him and the direction of the voice. Neither of you move. Throw down your weapons. Tatsuya-kun didn't so much as glance at me. I too kept my aim and my eyes fixed on the man further in. 10 years had gone by, but he looked exactly the same. This was, without a doubt, the man. The boy who stood next to Tatsuya-kun. Cruelly mangled corpse. Takuya's, not Tatsuya. His unforgettable crazed smile. I knew he was 501. Tatsuya Sudo, I finally found you. Girl, you've got this so mixed up. Wee-hee-hee. First time no see, you fucking brat. The voices told me all about you and the other side. Sudo was sprawled out on the sofa deeper inside the dance floor, her legs shamelessly stretched across the cushions. He was gulping down an entire bottle of dried gin dangling from one hand. Probably pinched it from the bar counter next to him. He had a 5 o'clock shadow and uncut hair growing out like a mane, and he was wearing nothing but a coat on his shoulders on top of a patient gown from some hospital somewhere. What a freakish outfit. He was carrying a cylindrical weapon in his left hand. It was unsheathed Japanese steel. I could arrest him in flagrant delicto for this alone. Tatsuya-kun walked right up to that pseudo without a trace of fear. At some point, he picked up the wooden sword I knew I'd kicked away. He was next to me this whole time? How had he picked it up? Flustered, I hurried after him. So you're Joker on this side, Tatsuya Pseudo. Seems like something he'd do. These two clearly knew each other, but Pseudo said this was the first time. What did they mean by the other side? And who did they mean by he? Was it supposed to be Tatsuya Pseudo, the subject of all those unsavory rumors? I'm a stand-in, you know? A stand-in. Just till the real one graces me with his awakening. The real Joker ain't me. You know that best of all, though, wouldn't ya? Yeah, June isn't a filthy murderer like you. You're Tatsuya Tsuyo. You can't just take Joker's place. Wahaha. Yeah, true. He ain't got an ugly mug like me. Thanks for the tip, you fucking brat. What I need is a mask. Joker's mask. Suda uttered a vulgar snicker and gulped down the rest of the bottle. The booze that had spilled out of his mouth trickled down his throat and drenched his blood-stained hospital gown. The one gracing him, Joker stand-in? What in the world did they know that I didn't? Pseudo, it's not too late. You can still start over. Don't listen to his voice any longer. Start over? I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but even 10 years ago this piece of shit killed a whole lot of people. You can't bring the dead back to life. A detective shouldn't say anything like that, but right then all I could do was scream it out. It didn't matter if he did turn over a new leaf. It still wouldn't bring Takuya back. Tatsuya-kun glanced back at me with a slight shocked expression. You know that thermodynamics first law thing? It's all heat and energy. There's only so much of it to go around and you can't change what all you got. Get it? There's a fixed volume of energy in the universe and it's all got just a different form. That's how it is. This fate shit's just the same. You got one guy who gets to be all happy, so another guy's got to be unhappy to make up for it. Like the meals you eat, right? You throw away what you can't polish off, right? In return, some asshole starves to death somewhere else in the world. Ah, I get it now. The voices are amazing. Voices. That broad kid's little brother, he was your stand-in. My stand-in? That day you little shits changed your face and ran off with your tails tucked, he got axed by me and your steed. You get it, right? Tatsuya-kun watched my face with widened eyes while listening to his story. Couldn't take my eyes off of him either. Takuyo was this boy's replacement? Incoming phone call. I got an order to kill Maya Amano. The moment Pseudo said that, a shadow that looked like a crimson figure flared up from Tatsuya-kun's body and assaulted Pseudo. A black figure seethed out from Pseudo's body too. The two men all of a sudden were locked in mortal combat. Over Tatsuya-kun and Pseudo's heads, the shadows clashed in the same form. Scarlet and sable flames intertwined and whirled all through the dance floor like two snakes trying to swallow each other whole. Several bottles that had been left on the counter exploded, and alcohol fume flames ran over the countertop. This is Joker, the persona your sin sired. How do you like it? Looks just like you. Hee-ha-ha-ha-ha. Lay just one finger on my knee, and I swear I'll hunt you down and kill you like the dog you are. Every time in every world. And whose fault is that bitch died, huh? Whose fault is it the other side got blown to hell? Shut up. You killed them all. I almost feel sorry for him. Take a good hard look at my persona's happy fucking face, loser, murderer. Pseudo! Oh yeah, get mad, get madder. Let the voices take you. Voices, Brett, voices. Voices. Oh, that sucks, Lena. Alright, Freya works. Oh, I died. and we won.